This is a reading video for Boku no Hero Academia Season 3, Episode 4. Click in the link in the description below to go watch my reaction and then come back here to see my full thoughts, views, and theories about this episode and what's to come and all that good stuff. It was a badass episode. Go watch it and then come back here to see my full thoughts. Click away now or be spoiled as to what happened in this episode. Okay. Jesus Christ, this episode was awesome. It was so cool. So cool. Like, oh my gosh, so hype. I mean, just like going above and beyond 100% for Midoriya's power is I mean, literally just 100% was enough to make him a badass. But he used his broken arm that already took 100% power in punching above and beyond 100% power to then defeat, we're not sure quite yet, but it looks like he defeated the muscle guy. So yeah, it's interesting that hero in particular happened to be the hero that killed Koda's parents. So it looks like Koda himself has the same powers as both his parents, maybe. I mean, just kind of like Todoroki does, you know. Todoroki has fire and ice between his fire dad and ice mom. So, stands to reason, he's got both. But we don't know the extent of both their powers. We don't know what the mom had. We don't know what the dad had. But it looked like they're both water-based kind of thing. Or at least one of them did, but the other one kind of amplified that power kind of thing. So we're not quite sure what it is yet. But Koda looks like he's got water abilities. So, I would assume he's got both, you know, of his parents' power. So, can't wait. It's gonna be freaking awesome to see what happens with that and all his quirks and everything like that. Because it seems like it's working, but just like, you know, he's still young, so it's not like advanced beyond anything yet. It's just like he can shoot waters out of his hand. It seems like. Like I said, I'm not sure if that's the mom side of it or the dad side of it, or, you know, what each side is. Does he have another ability? Because I would think it would be interesting to see if for example, like the dad had water abilities and he could shoot water or whatever like that. Then the mom had some kind of ability to amplify the dad's abilities. So like the dad had the water, and the mom had like the ability to control the water, or, you know, something like that. Like something. Or the mom had the water and the dad had something like that kind of thing, or he breathed underwater, or, you know, something like that, like to go with the water. Because like the dad had the snorkel thing, but the mom didn't. That's what I was noticing. So I'm thinking like maybe the dad has the water and the mom could potentially breathe underwater or something like that, or has some kind of ability that goes with, you know, each one. Regardless, it's cool, and I can't wait to see what his quirk is later on after this and everything like that. Like this, maybe he'll use it again, or later on we'll you know, hear from him again or whatever. Like, because I'm assuming at some point we're gonna actually get. I hope this is the case. I hope we get a bunch of seasons of My Hero Academia, because then we can see what happens after they graduate, and what they do and everything, and then maybe then we can jump back to the UA and see Kodo join, you know, whatever, with his quirk ability, whatever, and see how much he could do with it. Because it looks like he's on the hero side. So that's awesome. Because that's one thing that I was theorizing, I think, on my first reaction of this season. Episode 1 to 2. I think I was predicting him either. Oh no, I think it was episode 3 that I was predicting this. But I was kind of conflicted otherwise. There's like 3 branches of like what I was thinking. Either he go hero, he go villain, or he go neither. Like he hates both sides kind of thing. But it looks like he's gone the hero side. Like he's found Midoriya, or Midoriya found him and is like helping him to live and all kind of stuff. And he's seen the power of Midoriya, because Midoriya has the ability to like make people believe in, you know, what he does, because he does it without hesitation kind of thing. There was bits here and there where he was trying to figure out a plan to help Koda instead of acting. He actually said that in his mind, because I just need to act. I just need to do this without thinking kind of thing. Because whenever he does something without thinking is when he shines. Because he does it with instinct, you know, kind of thing. So He was overthinking things, trying to see if he can save Koda as well as fight the guy. Protect either him and Koda and everything. So he was thinking too much of it, and because of that, I think that's why he ultimately broke his arm and tried to go head on with the guy with muscles, kind of thing. Because you would think the first time punching and not working, you'd have to come up with a different plan. But he kept punching at like different areas or whatever like that, and then 100%, and then a million percent or whatever it was. It was so cool. That moment is so badass. I could definitely see that moment being a very big reactor moment, right? Because like, there's no way anyone would have predicted that, him going above and beyond 100%, let alone 100%, right? 100% is like, can be like a thing to predict, whatever. It's like, oh, I wonder if he'll use 100% on this guy, kind of thing. But no one will ever predict him going above and beyond 100% to defeat. Like I said, we're not sure if he's defeated yet. But defeat the guy basically, because all we know now is he's in the wall. I think his quirk is starting to go away, but we're not quite sure yet if he is defeated or not. But regardless, having Midoriya do that with a broken arm is, I think, not only badass, like Jesus Christ, but I feel like it's gonna have huge consequences for his arm in general. Much in the way like All Might is pretty much like, he's got his wound and everything that sticks to him, and there's nothing that can heal him. And there's only so much that Recovery Girl could do to him to repair his body and everything. Like the scars and everything on his hands, those stuck and everything, as a reminder not to go too far, kind of thing. But he did go too far, but while defending himself and Koda, kind of thing, against the villain. So he did it for good reasons, but he broke his body to do so. So I mean, there was like cuts and all that kind of stuff all over his arm when we were looking at it. And then when he did the 1,000,000% punch or whatever, the Delaware Detroit Smash, 2 named move, it looked like he was all like way more like tore up, like he was like, there was like bits like ripped up or whatever all throughout his arm. So I think a lot of his arm is going to be permanently damaged. I hope at least mobility is back. Obviously, I don't think his arm's going to be broken forever, but I feel like he'd be able to hopefully just move his arm. Like scarring and everything, that's fine. That's something he's already lived with the arena battle with Todoroki. He pushed himself too far, kind of thing. But or was that? I think that was, yeah. But then so I think scarring is fine. That's just another reminder of his hero-ship or whatever to call it. So we'll probably get scarring. I think bones and all that kind of stuff, muscle can be fixed up easily, but obviously not quick. I definitely think that's going to be like a big thing a big taxing thing on him, because Recovery Girl is not there at the camp. They're really far away from Recovery Girl, so she can't come in to recover or like that. So there might be maybe another hero that could potentially help, because we don't know all the abilities of Class B. Maybe one of them have something, but maybe Todoroki can like freeze his arm for the meantime, just to keep it in place and like not break it even further or something like that. I actually was thinking, I had a theory that the big muscle guy is Bakugo's dad, or family of Bakugo, because he named him by name, Bakugo. Like the villain wanted to. That was on his list, like the target kind of thing to fight, and it wasn't Midoriya. So that was interesting. Like Midoriya's on the list, but Bakugo is the main person to shoot after. So I wonder if they're going by the UA tournament. I wonder if, like, since like Bakugo won the tournament, I'm wondering if they're going after him first, and then the rest after, kind of thing, because they've seen the battles, and the tournament in general. They've seen all of that. So I'm thinking them they might just using that as a list to kind of go down and be like, all right, Bakugo first because he beat everybody, and then Todoroki, and then just go down the list of like all the people they need to get. Right now, Bakugo and Todoroki and one other Class B student are up against somebody who is in like this big kind of like I guess it's leather spiked kind of outfit, whatever. Has his arms like kind of tied in, using only his mouth. He had a hand that he was eating, but we're not sure whose hand yet. If it's a Class B kid or a kid, we're not sure. We have no idea. Or Bakugo asked who was in front of them, and they said a name. I can't remember who it was, but I think it could be anybody there. Luckily, Momo sort of just dishing out like left and right, just sort of dishing out gas masks. So that's awesome. So a bunch of kids have gas masks now. A couple of them are down for the count, but they have gas masks on, so hopefully they can recover in time. Because I can definitely see the Ivy Girl having some badass fights and everything. Tetsu actually stepping up to the plate and wanting to fight against the villains, because he realizes the reason why A is so good is because they encountered villains in the past and fought against them and all that kind of stuff. But I do consider that to also be dangerous, because the kids were split up fighting lesser villains, not so much like the major villains kind of thing. But I know Midoriya and Bakugo and Todoroki and there's a couple of people, but they fought against like Nomu and all that kind of stuff. Well, not Nomu in general, but they were up against like them kind of thing. So I guess they did it in those special few, whatever. They got to fight against the actual villains, and then beyond that, Bakugo and Ida and Todoroki, they all fought against Stain, like single-handedly, or not single-handedly, but as a group, they fought Stain and won. So Midoriya, Ida, and Todoroki in general are the top of the class when it comes to fighting villains. Bakugo, of course, winning the tournament, as well as getting the fight against the UA incident and all kind of stuff. He's got experience as well. But jumping into like the fighting villain kind of like mentality now during this elite squad of villains, like I don't think it's gonna work out for Tetsu. He's gonna help, I think, for sure. In my eyes, he's gonna help. He's gonna do something to help out, kind of thing. But I don't see him defeating any of the villains, because like you've got to be like a pro or whatever to like defeat one of these guys. I mean, like Midoriya barely scraped by, like with breaking his arm and going way above his like normal power level to push through and defeat the muscle guy. But again, he might not be defeated because they did cut away. That was the end of the episode. So he could still be up and about. He's just taking like a breather, or knocked him out, kind of thing. He might be back later. Who knows? They're going to be a ton of things that can happen with the muscle guy. But I could definitely see the other villains being a problem, because there's multiple situations. With the fire guy that took out Isaiah, I always forget how to say his name. Razorhead. And then we had the other guy, whatever, in the forest, alone, and then the other. Oh, there's two together fighting two of the Pussycats. Oh, three of the Pussycats, but one's down. So two, and then where's the cheerleader girl. She's in the forest alone as well. We didn't see her this episode, so we're not sure where she's going or doing. Trying to think if I'm missing any villains. I feel like there might be one or two more villains. I'm gonna say one. On the safety, I think there might be one more villain that I'm forgetting about. But ultimately, a lot of villains. Two of them are up against two heroes, kind of thing. So they're kind of grouping up, but the rest of them are pretty spread out. But that doesn't mean they're not strong. Like they're an elite squad. They're not minions. They're not like the guys of the UA incident who are just like cannon fodder. They're not like almost like level 1, like minions that are fighting. These are like, level 20, level 25, whatever, like in terms of like the level scale, like of a like on par with the heroes that are there right now, like the Pussycats and everything. They're on par with them. I would say, like, or maybe stronger. So some of the villains might be stronger than them or weaker than them. But as if Pussycats are like the bar, like they're around that bar on strength level, definitely. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Also, one hero is missing, and she's the girl that I really enjoyed the most. She's like the crazy one, whatever. She's really fun. But so she's missing somewhere in the forest. She's supposed to be like protecting them, kind of thing. So I'm interested to see what happened to her, if one of the villains got to her, or whatever. But she's missing. No one can contact her. She's not contacting them. Like, who knows? Nobody knows where she is. So I hope she's fine. I hope she's fine. I hope none of the kids are dead. That's one big thing. But I could definitely see the show doing that. I can definitely see the show killing off a kid or two to prove a point. Like the villains are dangerous. I can definitely see that being a thing in the show. Because the show has been touched on for death, like death of family members, like parents, that kind of thing. Near death experiences with like Edith's brother, and the UA incident with Eraserhead and everything, him almost dying, and 13. Not really like death though, just like near death. But I could definitely see this incident in particular being an incident where someone might die, like from a hero side kind of thing. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Yeah, I guess even Stain. There we go, Stain. Stain passed out. Because he was like on a roll, basically. He was like about to like go ham on people, and then his rib like punctured a lung, or I can't remember exactly what he punctured, but he punctured something vital, and he passed out. So even like him kind of thing in the villain side almost died. I mean, even the hand guy, I can't remember his name, but he like nearly, he didn't die, but like he got wounded very badly. Both his arms and legs got shot. So stuff like that, like the villain side has seen like, the bar drop in terms of like, almost dying kind of thing. So we're gonna see. That's for sure. Super pumped for the next episode to see how Midoriya is going to function without an arm. I mean, he might still use it, but like at this point, I don't think he should. I definitely don't think he should use that arm anymore. I mean, that's like his good arm, obviously. Like it's always like the right hook that always like, punches kind of thing. So that's his good arm, but I've seen him use his left arm previously. So hopefully he can do just as good with his left arm, or his feet, whatever, kicks and such. Anyways, I am pumped. This was a badass episode. I loved it so much. I can't wait to see other people react to this episode that I watched and everything. It's going to be super badass. It's going to be so freaking cool to see everyone's reactions to this. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week for episode 5. Thank you so much for watching. See you. Take care.